Wolves don't care about truth, a worldly lawyer tells intrepid paralegal Della Juliet Rylance in HBO's interestingly willful revival of classic detective series Perry Mason. They only care about meat. It's a good line, and one you probably wouldn't have read in the staid works of Erle Stanley Gardner, author of more than 80 detective novels starring the defense attorney and his assistant or, as she was formerly known then, his secretary. Della. But HBO's Mason is pointedly not the Perry Mason of the 1930s movies, the wholesome 1957–1966 CBS series or the 30 television movies that aired on NBC from 1985 until 1995 starring some of the remaining cast members from the original series. In many ways, the reboot is more a spiritual sequel to HBO's plot-heavy Prohibition-era crime drama Boardwalk Empire, and it takes more of its cues from the hard-boiled, no-good-guys period thrillers of James Ellroy than from Gardner's comfortable potboilers where the good guy always wins, the right way. Thus the Perry Mason reboot feels odd if you ever watched Perry Mason. Every line, character brief and plot twist screams 1940s noir, practically to the point of parody. There's even a subplot about a Hollywood tabloid and a crazy tent-revivalist preacher with interwoven threads following estranged children. But the camera isn't noirish at all. Perry Mason is shot exactly like every period drama the network has ever aired, with special attention lavished on the opulent sets and costumes. And, during the first 10 minutes, there's an absolutely vile act of brutal violence explicitly depicted, there's a gratuitous, porny sex scene along the way, and there's a cast of workaday character actors who'll have you perpetually saying to yourself, oh, it's that guy. What was he in? But once the new Perry Mason, written by career TV writer Ron Fitzgerald and the brilliant playwright Rolin Jones, settles down, it's a tense, surprisingly funny whodunit about the breadth of Los Angeles during the Great Depression. It has more plot twists than The Big Sleep, and probably a few too many characters. I was having trouble keeping up by the end of the series' 8 episodes, but I don't know who I'd cut. Stephen Root's mustache-twitching turn as the villainous district attorney would be the series' highlight of another show. Here, it's a single course in a feast that includes John Lithgow's irascible defense attorney, Rylance's Hepburn-ish Della, Shea Whigham's earthy private investigator, Jefferson Mays as the amusingly creepy coroner and, of course, Matthew Rhys, late of The Americans, as Perry Mason himself. Rhys replaced Robert Downey Jr. in 2019. Rhys is beyond wonderful. In a show with so much deliberately callous violence, every cruelty seems to etch another line in his character's face.